Fake news, real news. Investigative reporter Seymour Hersh heralds from the golden age of news. In decades gone by, he's published some of the most impactful stories of the last half-century. His expose of the massacre by American troops at My Lai Village during the Vietnam War won him a Pulitzer Prize at the age of 33. He'd later go on to write for the New York Times and the New Yorker, publishing scoops on Watergate, the killing of Osama bin Laden, and the torture at Abu Ghraib during the Second Gulf War. His experiences in journalism are documented in his new book, a memoir titled Reporter. And I'm pleased and honored to welcome him to the program. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, of course.
So, the golden age of journalism, that alone, especially I feel like in our current news cycle, I would really like to get into what made that particular time period the golden age.
There was money, I have to say. The newspapers were flush. The New York Times, when I was working on this book, I had to go back and read things, and I happened to go take a look at the Sunday edition of a New York Times in 1974, 574 pages. 570, it was this big.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way it was. And when I joined the New York Times in 1972, the publisher had a rule we couldn't, the Sulzberger family owned it, and they decided you couldn't have more than 1.5% to 2% of profits. The rest would go into the paper. I was an investigative reporter. I had my own ideas. I would say, I'm going to go this and that. And it was never, nobody ever said boo about money. Mm-hmm. And they said, you know, if the stories didn't work out, they didn't work out. And so the other way the other way that's really important now, why it was the golden age, we didn't have cable TV. Mm-hmm. And so we didn't have this jazzed up 24-hour news cycle where something gets reported and it's immediately put on air, and you don't have time really to investigate it. You know, it's put on. Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily represented as the truth, but it's represented as breaking news. And so it's just speeded up. And in my day, if I had a story going, if I had written something and I was chasing a story, I was staying with the story for a couple of weeks, you know, writing daily, I had all day to write a story. It's 7:30, the deadline. I didn't have to file for the internet. I didn't have to do a TV spot, as most of the papers have now. They have their own in-house.
You didn't have to tweet.
I didn't have to tweet. But the other thing was, the Times was one. We had the networks. The Times was a good example, but there are other papers like that in America. The Chicago papers were good. We had a lot of great newspapers that were taken as the ultimate truth. For example, now what you have is you've got the world, you're either for or against Trump, and there's no middle ground. The New York Times, for example, is quite hostile to Trump, and so the people that like Trump don't pay any attention. Mm-hmm. In my day, even people that supported the war listened to the New York Times. And so I think the reading, there's no real, you talked about fake news, good news. There's no independent paper that you look at and say, okay, this is true. And believe me, I respect the New York Times. It's a great newspaper, and they do a lot of good work, they still put a lot of money in investigative reporting. But there's no question that being hostile to Trump is catnip for ratings, catnip for getting more and more people to sign up for the internet, okay, and certainly for television. Going on, pushing the envelope on Trump. And not that you shouldn't, it's just, you should be critical. My worry is, what I say is, my attitude is that don't get into a tweet war with this guy. He's a master, you know, and mm-hmm. You're not going to beat him. In the last 2 or 3 months, he's gone up 8 points. There's a lot of people in America that like somebody that says, you know, I'm going to tell you the way it is, and you don't, you know, and they don't worry about the fact that the guy can't keep his words straight. That doesn't interest them. And so how do you get to those people? My attitude is, go do reporting. We should have been talking about what's going on the border 3 or 4 months ago. You know, it started that long ago. The war in Yemen, we get some reporting, but there's a bad new phase going on now. The war in Afghanistan. And I just went to a journalism convention the other day, and I talked to a lot of kids. And by the way, television and newspapers and radio they still attract people. People want to work there.
Oh, no, they certainly do. And I've definitely, even in my own experience, have spoken with young people who are still interested in print journalism. And of course, we've seen a resurgence with at least public radio, et cetera. But I did want to get your opinion on talking about local journalism. A lot of smaller papers and smaller markets are gone.
you've got a really, it's funny, it's the first time I've been talking about this book for a little while, and it's the first time anybody's mentioned that. It's a great point. Local reporting is disappearing, and because the papers don't have it, there's more, some of the bigger papers are swallowing other papers, and they publish the same news basically, often in rural areas. The major cities still have some reporting, of course, but when you get past the big cities, you're in real trouble. It's a serious issue.
Well, when it comes
what made you raise it? Why did you ask me that question?
Well, before I came to the station, I worked for several small markets.
Then no, the point is,
Yes, I do know. I'm very, very much aware. But another thing that I also wanted to get at was that even though you still have, like, the Times isn't anywhere near as thick or as many pages, as you were mentioning, but you do have a lot more online writing happening. And I'm wondering if you are seeing a difference between the kind of journalism that went into the print papers when they were actual physical papers and the online articles that so many of us are reading, clicking on, et cetera.
It's a huge change. This is one of the real positive things. I remember that there was a lot of worry 20 years ago that Johnny doesn't read and write anymore. We're not reading and writing, and then comes email. And now kids are just writing and write. It's really amazing. Everybody's writing now, email. So we're all getting engaged, and the whole world is. And all I can say, you said it. The online stuff is really fascinating. There's all sorts of new things. You've got Vice News. You've got BuzzFeed. You've got all these. There's about 5 or 6. I named a bunch that I've really done spectacularly well, and filling a market that the local papers are left. And so you have a much more. We're much more. If we want to, we've got the world here. I mean, I can pull down, if it's in English, I can pull down stuff from Africa. I do have a bunch of places from Southeast Asia. From Europe, I can pull down articles. Boom. And there's no excuse for some reporter going on an interview and not really knowing everything there is to know about somebody. It's just Google. It's just the most amazing stuff in the world.
Seymour Hersh, I want to thank you so much for writing this book and for reminding us why people like me even got into this business.
Oh, well, that's great to hear. Thank you.